Pirate Studios in Birmingham. That's what we do. Birmingham,
You're right.
I can't think of any other Birmingham-ish things. You heard that song by Artan?
No.
Oh,
Is that the one you played me before? Yeah. That's the only time I've heard it.
yeah, that's too nice. That's too nice.
Yeah.
So big up Artan. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Chronicles of Dad on YouTube, and Spotify and all that sort of thing there. All the stuff will be going on the bottom of the screen somewhere. Don't know how that's happening. Might be up here, might be down there.
Somewhere down there. We'll figure that out.
So yeah, it's what should we talk about today?
I think considering that we are speaking about our journeys as fathers, it would be a good idea to speak about our relationship with our fathers, or what we saw growing up, or how that kind of shaped us as fathers. Because I know obviously,
I
know obviously.
As soon as you said that, I was like, this is going to be a very short episode, isn't it? Like, what's your relationship with your father? Ain't there? Done. Charge.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how that's kind of put you in a mindset of how you want to be for your daughter, you know. Because my father, I'm very close to my father now.
Yeah.
But as a child, I wasn't living with my father. And for years, up until I was a full grown man, I think I was like 28, 29, the reasons for why he wasn't there, I thought was one thing.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was something completely different. So it kind of...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into that a little bit?
Oh, yeah,
more?
no, we'll touch on that. But I just thought that kind of... How does that set us on our journey as fathers in terms of how it made us feel as children, or even as grown adults now?
Yeah.
How are we going to use that to fuel our kind of drive to be a good father?
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a good idea to have a conversation about that as in the episode.
Before we talk about any of that, where'd you get your glasses from? They're really nice.
These,
you might be thinking I'm looking at you, man, like lovingly. I'm just like staring at your glasses. They're so nice.
I've had these for ages, bro.
Have you actually?
Yeah, these Specsavers. They're Converse. They're Converse.
Oh, sick.
Designer.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I need to go back because I've had these for almost 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And I need to go back and get some new ones.
Well, once you get your eyes tested again, keep these and send them to Lensology.
Okay.
Right. Just see if we get a little bit of assistance there. Lensology. We both wear glasses.
Two for one when I went. And also apparently I get free eye tests because my grandma on my mum's side had cataracts.
Oh right.
Yeah. So you get free if anyone in your family had cataracts.
What grandma had cataracts?
You get free eye tests apparently.
Yo, see, last time I went, I was on Job Seekers, can't lie. So,
you know, I hate it though. I keep putting it off because I know they're going to do that stupid thing with the air puff behind.
Oh, where you go?
And they're like, keep your eye open. It's like, no.
How can I do that?
You're blowing air in my eye. Like, no. And I'm not squeamish about many things.
Yeah.
Eyes is one.
See, nose is mine.
Nose?
Yeah, so like, I've got mad hay fever.
Oh, yeah.
And nasal spray is absolute no-go. And it's mad, like... If I did drugs, I do tobacco and alcohol, but like I would be the worst at doing coke. Like I've got the nostrils for it, but that is it. You know, nothing goes up my nose ever. It's friggin' horrible.
I've never heard anyone have that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So what is sneezing? Like, is it just going up your nose, or is it just general nose
anything
stuff?
Out my nose is fine. Like I could sneeze, I could blow my nose, but anything like if I go too hard, like I'm like. You know, it hurts me, and like because my adenoids are massive, and that's
but you
been
got your nose
like
pierced.
That's different.
Is that right?
Yeah, but that's not going up my nose, is
no,
it?
but it's like things going.
No, it's on the side, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all right. I
Yeah.
need to change that actually. I might change it for next week. But yeah. So my dad, anyway, cracking on to Davo one night.
Yeah.
My dad has never been active, and it's been. Well, I'm 37 now. I can now officially count on two hands how many times I've seen him. And the last 3 times have been at funerals and of family members. And the other times, like I don't have any recollection of him other than my his sister's wedding. I was 5. And to be fair, I was moving the other day and I saw an old photo album. There's photos of all different things, including my stepdad. And it's weird because I don't recall putting him in this way, but my stepdad's on one, and who's still active in my life and about. And we'll probably talk about him a little bit in this ep. And then the other picture next to it is a picture of me and my dad wearing the same suit. I was so gassed to be around him. That was when I was 5. I didn't see him again until I was 9. And that was at Christmas. And he got me he gave me a £5 and a box of chocolate peanuts. I don't like nuts. So that just goes to show how much he knows me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think the next time I was due to see him, it was a week before it was my 13th birthday. My mum let slip that he was going to ring me that day because that was my first mobile phone.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when you get a mobile phone, like on the side, it's got the SIM number, the IMEI number, and the mobile number, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So like she must have bumped into him and wrote down my phone number, gave it to him. He was like, yeah, I'll call him on his birthday. So yeah, from 9 years old, didn't see him again until I was 17. Didn't hear from him until I was 17. But he was meant to ring me on my 13th birthday.
Yeah. Wow.
My mum never stopped me.
Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll go down to my nan's house, and he weren't there. He was either on holiday, HMP, or just not there.
You know, all inclusive.
He's all inclusive.
All inclusive.
Some of them man eat better than us,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure they do.
3
I've
square
seen some
meals.
of the documentaries.
What console have you got?
I don't really have one. I've got a PS2.
Get locked down, bro.
PS3? I don't even know which one I'm on.
Get
PS3,
locked up, you'll
but I
get
don't
one.
have time to play it.
Yeah, but you will if you're inside.
And I wouldn't have to run after these badass kids. So
No, he doesn't run away from badass people.
but no, it's interesting because the whole thing about your mum obviously never tried to stop you from seeing him or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been told about their relationship, as in why he wasn't involved, or have you ever had that conversation with him?
Do you know what? I've never had that conversation with my mum. But what I do know is that I have a sister who's in the same school year as me, but we're not twins.
Right. I get you.
So as far as I'm concerned, do I need to have that conversation with my mum? Probably.
Yeah.
But it just also then goes to show the type of guy that he is, and I will vow not to be that man.
Yeah, 100%. But again, that kind of comes around and it shows you, like, you've lived that. You would never want to put your daughter through something like that.
Yeah.
So that obviously that will drive you to be the best you can and be in her life as much as possible.
Yeah.
Which we see. Well, I see. These people don't know you.
Well,
But
yeah,
I see.
exactly, yeah. But what I am scared of
Yeah.
is some mothers coming forward because I lived a checkered past. You know what I mean? So I'm very worried about that.
That is one of my... I don't have many irrational fears.
Yeah.
It's not even irrational. But that's one of my
straight up fear.
That's one of my biggest fears is that someone will knock on the door and be like, "Oh, are you Devin?" I'll be like, "Who are you?"
Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm worried about doing this podcast.
Yeah,
You know?
because if that happens, then boy.
If we get massive time, there's going to be bugger kids.
Well, there might not be.
Well, there might be, no, because I've
There
only
might not
slept
be.
with one
Yeah,
person.
there might not be.
Two.
You know what I mean? I'd like to think that if that had happened, they would have come forward already.
Yeah.
But that is a big fear of mine, and I think I've mentioned that to Abby. But anyway, if not, she knows now.
Yeah.
But
banter about it.
she knows about my checkered past
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, for me, with my father, so I don't remember, my mum and my dad lived together up until I was about 3 or 4. And then they separated, and I remember we moved to West Dulwich in London, and she was with a man called Mick. And Mick took me to my first football game.
Yeah.
He taught me how to play football. So I was very fond of him as a stepdad. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
So I think it was about 4 or 5 till I was about 8 or 9.
Okay.
And then they separated, and then we actually went to live with my dad's mum.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my dad's mum was always, she was an old Caribbean woman.
Yeah.
Didn't want to see anyone suffer.
Facts. Yeah.
You know, she'd do her best. Anyone was welcome in her house. You know what I mean? So I would see my dad at family functions and stuff like that before that, but not all the time.
Did you know at that point that he was your
Yeah,
dad?
I knew he was.
Yeah.
And he would see me and he would take me out every now and again. But there was a lot of kind of, I'll come and pick you up at 2.
Oh.
And then you're sitting there waiting at 6 o'clock. And it's
I've
like,
been that guy.
And then he comes to pick you up.
That gif of Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. But what I will
that's
say
me.
before I continue any further is my mum and dad were very young when they had me. I think my mum was 18. My dad would have just turned 18 that year. My mum turned 19 2 weeks after she had me. So that's extremely young.
Yeah, my mum had me at 19. Yeah.
I can't think
Just
of
turned.
having a child at that age. Me at 18, I couldn't tell you what I would have done at that stage. I'm a completely different person. So I understand the kind of how that will affect someone so young.
Yeah.
And them two also just trying to have a relationship at that age as well.
So I just want to make sure that these are. We're still in. We're still in. We're just making sure that those are on. Yeah.
Paranoia. Yeah. So just that kind of that age, that the relationship, having a child, everything like that. My mum coming from like a really strict kind of parentage. Well, her dad, mum was cool. Her dad was very strict. So there was a lot of factors there. And it went until years later. I'll kind of skip to a bit. Years later, I always thought that my dad left.
Right.
But it turns out that my mum suffered from postpartum, and she never really recovered.
Right.
So they would argue or whatever, and she kicked him out. So she kicked him out. So that completely changed. Obviously, I lived my whole life up to about 28, 29, believing one thing.
Yeah.
And then I actually sat down. I had a bit of an episode at that point.
Yeah.
I had a previous breakup, which led me to kind of look at my behaviors,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I started asking questions to my mum and my dad as to my childhood, because I don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
So
you've blocked it.
I think I might have blocked certain things out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my mum, and she told me, oh no, this is actually what happened, and blah, blah, blah. So kind of had a different, I spoke to my dad, he said, yeah, I never stopped trying to see you. It's just our relationship had broken down to the point where I would try and see you, and it wouldn't necessarily be convenient for my mum, obviously because she's with someone else now.
Yeah.
So as a child, you don't understand that. You just think, well, why is he not coming to see me?
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm like, right, okay, I can understand the dynamics of it. But I remember, my dad would always try and take me to school and stuff like that. I remember going to school with him every now and again. But now that I think about it, I remember more him taking me to school.
Oh, really?
But as I was growing up, I don't remember that. I couldn't remember those things.
Oh, shit.
And then, as I said, at family gatherings and stuff, we'd see each other. And then I was very close to my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
Because I was living with my grandma, and so I'd see all my cousins from that side of the family.
That's sick, though.
Also, and my mum was living there as well. And my grandma was the kind of woman who didn't want my mum to pay rent. Do you know what I mean? My mum was like, no, I'm working, I'm going to pay rent. You'll let me live under your roof. But then my mum would also go out, and my grandma would babysit.
Yeah.
So my mum was still, early 20s, mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
So she was still getting to do that, and grandma would look after me and all that kind of stuff. And I remember, my mum would work till late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there were times where I'd finish school, and I would go home to my grandma's, and no one's in. So I'd sit in my granddad's van. Do you know what I mean? Just like playing with the buttons in the van until someone come home. Do you know what I mean? It's just those kind of things. But my relationship with my dad, to go back to it, he was always there. I knew he was. But I never felt like he was my dad as such, that where he would tell me off and I'd be like,
more of a guy that you know.
He was there. I knew he was my dad.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that kind of father-son dynamic because I had someone else who was playing that role at home.
And who was that guy?
So his name was
obviously Mick went away.
His name was Mick. So then when Mick left,
Yeah.
we lived with my grandma. And then once we moved from there, me and my mum moved into our own place, not too far from there anyway, for about a year. And then she met Mike. Mike, funny enough. He's still in the picture now. So she met him when I was 12.
Yeah.
I did not like him at first because this was the first time me and my mum had been alone. It was just like, it's me and my mum now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is it. I get all of her attention. It's me and my mum.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns up with his dog.
Who's my man?
I'm like, who are
His
you?
dog?
Yeah, his dog. But his dog was lovely.
Yeah,
I didn't like dogs.
But where
he
were
was
you
brilliant.
then? You were like second or third on the list.
Oh, no, I was
Dogs are cool, aren't
I was
they?
definitely above the dog.
Not saying you ain't cool,
I was
but
definitely above the dog. Yeah. I don't think my mum was... I mean, my mum likes dogs, but I don't think to that extent. She does now. But, yeah, he came along. And Mike is brilliant, but he's very blunt.
yeah,
He doesn't suffer fools. Do you know what I mean? And he'll say something because that's what he means.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he won't necessarily... As a 12-year-old, he didn't know how to kind of...
Where the
relate
line was.
to me because he's not got kids.
And is he black or white?
No, white guy.
Do you think that makes a difference as well?
I think so. I think in how I take to like diversity and being around different cultures and stuff. Mick was white.
Yeah.
So I lived in a majority white area at that point. Moved to
In London?
Yeah. In West.
Don't tell the
well, no.
Brexiteers that. Jesus.
Where my grandma lives, so I should say, the school I went to was predominantly white.
I was going to
So
say,
there's only 3 black people.
Reform
in a year.
UK are going to love this.
Yeah. And
I
then,
remember back in the day when London was white.
Yeah, no, that school was very white. But
I couldn't care less if it was black or white, by the way.
But I didn't feel out of place because Mick was white. So I'd already been around that, and I had white friends in my previous school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, and then Mike came along, and for the first, I threatened to run away many times. Packed bare bags. I was never going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Am I going to get to the end of the tube line? Oh shit, I better go home.
Pack the bag, knowing full well I weren't going nowhere.
Starving, I've only got £2.74.
I mean, who's going to feed me? I ain't going nowhere. So we had a bit of a clash there, but eventually came round, and you know, he's cool, and he's still in my life now. You know, they've been married 20 odd years.
Mad.
So, but yeah, I've always had that kind of fatherly figure, whether it be Mike, Mick, and then my dad. Because when my mum moved to Spain when I was 18, and I moved in with my dad. Yeah, and that's where we became like really close, and we kind of bonded. And you know, from that point on, he was very much the main parental figure in my life. Yeah, for a good 20 years until my mum moved back to England to be close to me. But our relationship really bonded there, and it's, you know, it was good. But I didn't really have that bond, and there's another reason for that as well, which I'm not going to say on here because that's my dad's business. That's my dad's business. Yeah. But yeah, he revealed something to me when I was 12, which I weren't ready to hear. Yeah, and messed me up. But yeah, it took me a long while to come to terms with that. I spoke to my mum about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I knew that." And then that was it. She didn't have no conversation with me or anything like that. It's just like, and I was like, yeah. And I was just like, right, okay. So I can't really have that conversation with you because you just brush that off. Yeah. So I kind of held that. And I think that is kind of, once I started living with him, and it just became a bit more easier to kind of let that go kind of thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it helped our relationship massively, me actually being around him and being with him and seeing him as a father. But even then, the things me and my dad would do together aren't necessarily what most fathers and sons will do. Like, we'd go to Ibiza together and get mashed.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We used to go every year.
I love that though.
Yeah, we used to go every year, just get mashed. Do you know what I mean?
That's so much better.
Yeah. And like,
how many people I was going to say how many people do that. I bet there's enough more white mates would probably be able to do that with their dad. To be fair, but most of my black mates, their dad ain't about. So
even before that, but even before I moved in with him, like, I would, if I needed to take a girl home, I knew I couldn't take her to my mum's. Yeah. I'd message my dad, said, "Dad, I got this girl. Can I use yours?" He'd be like, "Yeah," and he would leave the house and leave condoms in the house for me.
That's better. I'll tell you what, right? No life. Me and Beck were to just rock up at my mum's house. Well, I always come to my mum's house. It's their house. My mum and my stepdad. I'll call him Pops. So like, if I was to rock up to their house and be like, just been locked out, because me and Beck sleep here, they'll probably say no. Or, bear in mind, I'm a big old man. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would be like, "Oh, you can sleep in there," and then Beck can sleep on the sofa downstairs. I was like, I'm not even trying to beat right now. Like, I'm tired. We're trying to get in the yard for X amount of time. I just want to go to bed. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's mad. Dynamic's different.
So the dynamic was always quite different with me and my dad. But I love it to bits. And I saw him as a dad, a brother, a friend, all kind of wrapped into one thing. Sick. He knew what role to play at any particular time.
Depending on the circumstances and the situation.
As I got older, I started to see that. But he's always been someone who, just from being around him and from seeing his role within our family, a bigger family, he's always been the person that people go to.
Okay.
And it's weird to see that, considering when I was a child, I couldn't go to him. Yeah. It's a weird dynamic.
That's mad. But then, do you reckon that's like a sign of maturity and sign of the times and just aging as a process? Like that was able to happen?
Yeah, I think so. Because again, he was very young when he had me, so he maybe he had to grow into that role within himself. But yeah, I think maybe it's a conversation I need to have with him as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
to just kind of
Bring him in.
go.
Bring him in. There's 4 mics here,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
You know
could bring
what
him
I mean?
in, but yeah, the tone of the conversation will drop drastically. Trust me.
Oh really? Oh Christ!
Yeah.
All your
Yeah.
shit will come out as
Yeah,
well. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Devin did this, Devin
Yeah.
did that, Devin did
Yeah,
this.
he knows.
You know what I mean?
He knows it.
I know you can't even say anything because it's your pops, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
So,
Anyone who knows
yeah.
him knows that the tone of the conversation could go south quick. When I
Need him in,
took, I
need
took
him in.
my first girlfriend to meet him because I was borrowing some money from him. I think I was 18 or whatever at the time.
Yeah.
And I took her into his workplace to meet him. And he goes, "Oh, how much do you need?" I was like, £20, nice round figure. He looked her dead in the eye and goes, "I can see you like those." That's what he the amount of abuse I got for that. Because I laughed, obviously, it's funny.
Yeah, it's jokes, isn't
I mean,
it? Well, I bet she gave you the dirtiest cut eye.
That's the kind of jokes we're talking about. My dad would just drop the tone.
He's 100% coming in.
Yeah.
We need to get him in here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so like, as mentioned before, like my old man weren't about. I just call him DNA match. Excuse me. There's been times where I've seen him over the years. I've bumped into him at the petrol station. I think I mentioned that on Ep1 or Ep2. When he was with someone who is like a couple of school years younger than me, and he was with him, and my man recognised me. He was, "Oh yes, Gavin, what are you saying?" I was like, "Yeah, good. It's funny how you recognise me, but that guy doesn't, and that guy's like, I'm half of him."
Yeah.
You know, I showed a picture of him to Beck the other day. She was like, "That's your dad." I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I can't see it." I'm like, "Thank God for that." Do you know what I mean? But if we were to have a breakup and she turns around and said, "You look like your dad,"
Yeah.
might be a murder case on the scene. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, and I went to go see it. I remember, I think I was 17 because you know me, I love Tupac, and I burnt a CD of Papa's song and put it in a Father's Day. I literally put like Happy Father's Day, lots of love, Gav. And I put the CD in the thing, gave it to him, and he weren't there. Shock. And then about a year or so later, I found out he was in prison again. He just missed a petty crime. Loves a petty crime. So he was in again. And what happened? Yeah. So I went to go see him. And I was like, "Oh, did you get my Father's Day card last year?" He's like, yeah. I was like, "Did you listen to that CD?" He's like, yeah. I was like, "What do you think of the song?" He goes, yeah, it's a good song, man. I was like, "You didn't listen to it, did you?" Because Papa's song is literally Pac cussing out his dad, you know, and saying that mum had to do this, X, Y, Z, do you know what I mean? And father was nothing, it was nowhere, who was going to play catch with, rah, rah, you know what I mean? And it's probably disrespectful what I did, but he disrespected me by not even listening to it. So didn't even read the card, did you even see it? Don't bullshit me, you know? And then, yeah, it was just funerals. I'd just see him at funerals after that. Never saw him anywhere else. But yeah, like I grew up, so it was me, my mum, well, it was my mum, my uncle, and my grandma. My uncle's gay. So like it's 2 women and a gay person. So like it was very like feminine sort of household. But I was loved, and I know I was loved because everyone was there for me. You know what I mean? And like, just like you, my mum had me at 19, so she was very young. She was trying to work. She was trying to go out. She was trying to be a
young person,
young person, just a normal, run-of-the-mill young person. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of my time was spent with grandma. So like my grandma died in 2017, and it hurts me still to this day. But like everything I have learnt positively, I can take from my grandma, and that's not to throw shade on my mum. It's more higher praise for my grandma than taking away from my mum. You know what I mean? So like, so even things from like learning how to read, learning how to tell the time, you know, table etiquette, you know, just anything and everything was from grandma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when it got to, so we were living under grandma's roof, and then when Mum got a council house in a place called Kingsthorpe in Northampton, looked at it, it weren't quite right, but then one of our friends had another council house, like in a different part of Kingsthorpe, and she was like, "Oh, I've just picked up this, but do you want to swap this?" And I'll tell you what, what a fucking decision that was, because it was a brilliant decision. So we lived on a street that it was like an L shape, but in the like the angle of the L was like a green, and all the youths used to play for. Oh my god, they were the best times of my life, and there's no bullshit about it. So like, it just seemed that all the parents were all the same sort of age, and all the kids were all the same sort of age, and like I've met friends for life from being in that area, and I don't think I would have got that if we had gone to the other place. So yeah, props to my mum for that. But yeah, she ended up meeting someone, and initially didn't like it.
It's got to happen, because as a kid, you're like, no, that's my mum.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's my mum. She's here for me.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
and he had 4 kids.
Right. Okay.
From 3 different parents. We're like, we've squashed all like the beef now, but I'm going to talk about it. And if you want to watch it, you're more than welcome to. I'm not like, you know, I won't mention your name, so you know who you are. I know who you are. But like, yeah, his youngest was very young, like literally like a year and a half or something like that. And her mum had beef with my mum. Beef, because it's like, you've gone in there, you stole my mum. Right. I'll tell you what, those two, I'll get on like that. Right. And every single family event, from about 3 years after that, every single family event, it was all the family, plus my youngest sister's mum. Right. It was always part of us. Okay. And it's sick. The dynamic's sick. We went to go see, there was a concert, it was about 2012, 2013. It was like Casey and Jojo, SWV, Changing Faces, all them, man. So it was me, my mum, my auntie, my youngest sister, and her mum, all rolled down, 5 of us. Sick. Yeah. You know, so we were able to build those dynamics. Anyway, back to fathers. So, like, my pops, I didn't like the new rules that were coming in. I weren't a disobedient kid. I was just a kid, and I just wanted my mum's attention. Yeah. And only my mum's attention. Yeah. And he was always name. We don't need to rename. We don't need to rename him, because like, it's not like Janet. Yeah. But like it was always name. And I remember he sat me down one time and was like, I don't want to call you my name anymore. It was probably about a year and a half into the relationship. Don't want to call you my name anymore. I want you to call me Pops. Or I want you to call me something. I was like, I ain't calling you dad. Yeah. It's not my dad. Yeah. But even though it's more
old
fun.
How old were you at that point?
7.
Right. Okay.
You know, and they got together when I was 6. So I was like 7, nearly 8. And I was like, I ain't doing that. And he was like, all right, cool. I remember I had this money box, yeah. It was like a yellow taxi. And I just put my coppers in there. And he left a load of coppers on the side and was like, do you want to, yeah, you can have these. I was like, thanks, Steve. And I started, said the name. Yeah, no we'll bleep that. Probably won't bleep it.
Nah, it's fine. It's out there. Many Steves.
Yeah, generic name, Dave. So like, I lobbed all these coppers in, and he took them away. And he was like, "Nah, because that's not my name," and teethed them. And then I had to go, "Thanks, Pops," in order to get
back.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
from then on, I didn't like him.
Yeah,
and there was lots of things like that went on over time. And this is before I was even a teenager. Yeah. Things that would happen. Like, I remember one time, summer holidays, and I was supposed to be like 9 or 10. And, you know, it's the first weekend of summer holiday. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've worked my ass off during school and whatever. And I just wanted to have a lie in it. It wasn't even late. It was literally like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And he just walks in my room, just bursts the door open, just winds the curtains. I'm like, nah, bruv. Yeah. So he's gone. I shut the door. I close the curtains. I get back into bed. Seconds later, he literally comes in, like drags me out of bed, licks my foot on the side of the thing. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. I'm like...
Yeah. How old was he? Do you know how old he was?
Yeah, so point? Like, what was he, 60... What year are we in? 25.
25, yeah.
So he's 61. He's 62 later on this year. So
he would have been relatively young as well.
Yeah, so he's like early 30s.
He'd have been early 30s then?
Yeah, it's 30 years ago, 60. Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Younger than me, eh?
Yeah. So I'm like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine doing that to Janet's son. I would never have done that to Janet's son, ever. Do you know what I mean? But then he's Caribbean, isn't it? So then
It's
like
different upbringing from him.
yeah,
because he's
so
probably
that's what he would have done.
yeah.
So like now I'm older, I'm not saying I condone it at all because I don't. But it was okay of the time.
But you know what the thing is, right? And I've noticed from having kids, again, I have to stress, I do not condone it.
Yeah.
But I can understand.
I could get it.
I understand why some of these Caribbean parents would beat their kids. Because no, hear me out. I don't condone it. I do not condone it. But the amount of sacrifice, and the amount of energy, and the amount of things that go into trying to raise a child right, for them to turn around and tell you no. You think, who are you talking to? And then it just flashes through your head. It's like, I should be no,
not today.
Because you do all of these things just for them to turn around and disrespect you. I can understand someone who has a short temper or whatever would turn and go, who are you talking to? You can't disrespect me like that after all the things I've done for you. I don't sleep. I don't sleep because of you. And you want to tell me no?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to get clarted.
So I understand. Do not condone it. I would never do it.
You get the sitting there and you go get the sitting there. He's get beat up with it.
But yeah, no. Well, to be fair, you know what? As a kid, I don't remember my mum. My mum might have slapped me a couple times. But I've never. I've seen something. I used to have a friend, Ryan, and his mum, he was famous around Catford. Her family are famous. Big family. Big woman.
Yeah.
Angela, big woman. I remember one time being at her house. I used to hate going to her house because she would beat me. Like, she never did because I was so well behaved because I knew she don't care who she's friends with.
Yeah.
She will beat whoever's in her house.
Yeah, exactly. In my house, my rules.
If my mum was in her house and she did something, she'll beat my mum. that's who this woman was scary, bro.
Yeah.
So I remember being in the house one time and I was playing in the room with Ryan and I just said, Ryan, come downstairs. So Ryan's going downstairs. I'm still playing. And I just hear, ping, ping, ping. Ah! You know the old bit of Hoover, the Henry Hoovers?
Oh, the metal
Took
piece.
off the... beat with that. He come upstairs. I was like...
I'm getting out the window. I'm climbing down the trellis.
Not a word was said. I was like, not like, are you all right? Just a... I was so scared, bro. I was so scared. I don't even know if I said anything the next day. I was so scared. I was like, Mum, beg you, come pick me up.
Oh,
please,
God.
If I could have told her telepathically, please, I beg you, come pick me up, please.
Yeah, honestly. To be honest, Steve's never laid a finger on me.
Yeah.
He's gripped me up once, a couple of times.
Yeah.
But the only clerk I got, the last clerk I got, was from my mum. I don't remember what I said. I wagged school that day. I was about 11, 12. And I found my way to Grandma's because Grandma's a safe place.
Yeah.
So I was like, I started getting a little bit lippy because I'm in my safe place. You know, I'm at Grandma's yard. And I must have said something. And my mum just she went backhand and she had a ring on and it cut my eye. And I was like, obviously I was screaming.
Yeah.
And my grandma gave my mum the dirtiest look because she was like, it don't matter what he's done, you don't do that to no one. I remember my mum was like crying and I was like
you know that silent one
trying to get your breath.
But you know what, my dad never hit me. My dad never put his hand on me ever, which is strange. But yeah, like my mum every now and again, and then I think she stopped when I was quite young. I was quite quick and she couldn't bother to chase me. So I think she was just like, whatever. But I think that's where, for me, Mike and me kind of started bonding because when I got to about 14, 15, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, facts.
If I wanted to go to my friends, I used to Simon's, I'd go to Simon's.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I made the mistake one time of just turning up at his house unannounced. And his dad was like, right, so I don't need to come pick you up no more. So, you know what I mean? Because he used to come pick me up.
Yeah.
I just turned up there unannounced. He's like, I don't need to pick you up. Next time you just take the bus.
Yeah.
So I used to just be like, yeah, Mum will go to Simon's. And my mum would be like, come back. And Mike would be like, he's a big man, leave him, let him do it. And that was it. Where I was like, he's on my side.
Right.
Okay. And that's how we started to bond. Because like, he would just be like, no, let him go and do what he's doing. Probably because he thought, I don't want this kid in the house no more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get some tum-tum
You know what I mean? I don't need this kid around here no more. I don't need him around here. So, yeah, and I would literally go to Simon's and I'd be there for 2-3 days.
Wow.
And, on the second day, my mum could be like, you're right, you still at Simon's? But yeah. That was Done.
Yeah.
I had so much freedom.
I wasn't allowed to do any of that. It was strict to my yard. So like over those sort of like from like 10 to 16, it was sort of like just get on, just for the sheer hell of getting on. Excuse me. And I turned 17. I was like, I'm done here. I was rented a room, like 'cause I was working. I thought, I need to get out of it, and it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I went on great money. I was paying like $250 like a month for this room to rent.
Yeah.
But I was by myself, and it was like, right, okay, this is nice. But then it was a struggle at times, and I ended up going back. I wanted to do things in my own time when I was at home. You know, I didn't want to have to wash up right this second when you say so. So I'm going to do it in about 20 minutes. Can you just leave me alone for 20 minutes and then I'll go do it? But it was like now or this is going to get taken away. That thing's going to take away from you. But even though I wasn't an adult in the law's eyes, I was an adult because from the age of 16, I went to work. I was working a full-time adult job. I was an accounts assistant for a large, reputable soliciting firm. Do you know what I mean? I'm a man in the workplace, but I'm a youth.
It's a hard transition, that kind of age.
Yeah.
So just a question for you, like in terms of Isla, I mean, it's long off in the future kind of thing, but in terms of Isla getting to that age, the 16, 17, 18.
She'll be in a convent still at that point anyway.
What have you thought about, because one of the things that I've noticed as kind of growing up, and I wish that, you know, I hadn't done it as such, is moving out, struggling to pay rent. Because I came to a point when I moved back in with my dad. When I first moved back in with my dad, after my relationship broke up with my ex, I moved back in. It was at a time when my dad had lost his job,
right?
So it was actually quite beneficial to both of us. But at that point, it made me realize, like, why am I paying these people all this money for rent?
Yeah,
that I don't know when I could be paying my dad's mortgage.
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think a lot of people have been, not brainwashed, that's the
programmed.
Term, programmed to believe, like, you get out your parents' house, you go rent somewhere.
Yeah.
But all you're doing is putting money in someone else's pocket.
Yeah.
Because why not stay with your parents, pay that rent,
this is
have that conversation with your parents, like, well, I'm paying rent here now.
Yeah.
So it's not, the dynamics changed.
Yeah.
I'm no longer here just freeloading.
Yeah.
I'm paying my way. So I'm going to need some sort of something back from you.
Well, that's what I felt like.
Freedom in terms of...
I didn't get that. Yeah. I didn't get that because I started paying board. I turned 16 and I was working and I was paying board, rent, whatever you want to call it. But I still didn't feel like I was getting the freedoms. Yeah. You know, I'll buy my own food. You know, I'll buy my own drink. I'll buy my own cigarettes that they didn't know about. I'll get my 20 Embassy #1 because I was a bit classy like that back in the day. You know what I mean? But like, I just didn't understand why I was still under these strict... And that's what made me think, do you know what? Fuck this, I'm moving out. Yeah. Because if I'm paying my way here, if I was living free, they've got every right to say, do this, do that, do this. But when I'm paying my way, I'm doing my thing. And in fact, I was paying £200 a month back in, what year? 2003?
Yeah.
That's big money, fam.
That's a lot of money now. That's at least 500 quid now.
Minimum. That's big 16, money.
17, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm contributing hard to that yard. You know, so what are they doing with it? Yeah. You know, where's it going?
So would you want Isla to do the same thing, or would you want her to kind of go out and... Because there is benefits to going out and doing your own thing. I've been putting away a little piece. Every time I get any form of money, I put it away a little piece. I don't want to have to pay for anything. But like, but this is now. This is now. You know? I mean, would you want her to go out independently and kind of... Because there is benefits to doing that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, being on your own and looking after yourself and stuff. But also, I
want her to learn and understand, and like, even though I'm doing it and I will have it then, I want her to understand the value of it. I think that's what it is. So whether it's like, oh, Dad, I want this, because it'll be Dad by then. I'll allow her to call me Dad by then. It's still Daddy now, innit? Yeah. So like, you're allowed, like, I really want these shoes. They cost £70. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, in order to get to that £70 mark, I've got the £70. Not a problem. But you can't just wanty, take it. Yeah. You know, there has to be something that you do in order to earn that. And it can't just be good behaviour. I need you to be like, you know, potting around the house, doing your bits and bobs, you know. And then that could be 20 quid towards it, you know. And then you could buy it yourself once you've saved it. And when you get to that £70, do you really want to start again from zero? Or do you want to get up to 100? Yeah. And then buy another pair for 40, so to speak, because I didn't understand the value of money, and I still to now don't understand the value of money, because I never had money when I was younger, and even though I worked and stuff, I was always behind, and I got
Yeah.
myself in debt, and then I helped exes get out of debt, and then
Yeah.
take on that debt, and then just be all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit. So like now I'm at a time finally where I'm able to, you know, I've still got little pieces of like shit knocking about, but for the first time in my life, I have a genuine savings account and there's money in it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's
Big money.
no,
But it's money.
but there's money in it, and regular money is going in it.
Yeah.
So like it's taken a long time, but I'm just thankful that I'm in a position for it now, and I want to be able to. I don't want to tell Isla that. I want to assist and guide her towards that. But I want her to be able to make her own decisions.
Yeah.
Because if she ends up turning anything out anything like me, she will rebel against it, and I know she rebels with Janet, and she doesn't with me. So if I'm hoping that I can continue that from this age, young 4, all the way through to 9 to 14 to 16 to 18 to so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
That's another episode, isn't it? The future aspirations, I suppose.
Yeah.
But just to kind of round it off, for this one, kind of for me, from the things that I take from my father, it's obviously going to be a different conversation from you. The things that I take from my father moving forward into fatherhood, my dad is very, very good at listening.
Yeah.
He's very good at listening. He's always available to listen, and he's always calm, collected. You know, I've seen my dad in some situation, obviously, when like my grandma died, and he kind of took on the whole dealing with the funeral and getting everything sorted, and you know what happens when families have losses. Everyone kind of goes off and wants to get a bit of what's happening with the will and deal with all of that in a way that he always remained calm, and he was strong. He was strong for his sister when she needed him, and all this kind of stuff. And that is what I've taken from him in terms of I want to be that for my kids.
Yeah.
I just constantly want to be. At the moment, it's quite hard when Mahali is going through this phase where she just moans all the time. Everything is a problem. She moans about everything. But it's just trying to, like when she's having her temper tantrums, it's just to try and say to her, if you speak to me, if you say this, Daddy, I want this, please, rather than just kick off, you're more likely to get it.
Yeah.
Calm down, come to me, and always make her like come over to me.
Yeah.
So come to me, calm down, count to 5, and then ask me for what it is that you want.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it to her.
Yeah.
It's just trying to, diffuse the situation.
Come on,
it's not easy.
Dad, give me £1 million, please. I'll come to you.
No, it's not easy.
I won't kick off like
It's not easy. But yeah, I think for what I take from my father, and also the whole episode of what we spoke about earlier, of not being sure of what's happening. I don't really want to. Once my children get to a certain age, I want to be transparent with them.
Yeah.
I want to have these conversations with them so that they're aware of, where we're coming from as parents, what we've had to go through as parents and stuff. Not always in a negative way. It's like, I've done this for you and you're disrespecting me. Not like that. But just to like understand just why things are the way they are. And I want to always be that. It's hard as a parent because sometimes you don't want to blur the lines of parental authority.
It's not your friend.
And friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't just be friend. Sometimes that's... I find that Abby does that sometimes. Is she'll always try to stay on their good side and be friend. So when it comes time to being disciplined, it's harder.
Do you know what? That might be what Janet does.
Yeah.
But I'm not there to see it.
Yeah.
She might be trying to be
does it intentionally.
friendly. Yeah. But that might also be like a maternal thing. And we can only speak to like not just partners, but speak to other women and like our friends like that can maybe clarify that a little bit.
An example is a kind of weird example of it, but every time Malachi falls over, for example, it's only not even like a big fall over, just a little. She's like, "Oh, you're okay." I'm like, "Don't do that.
No, laugh.
Don't do that. Don't just tell him
you fell over.
No, just tell him get up. You're okay. Just say you're okay. Get up." And he pops up. He's fine.
Yeah.
But when you do and he's like,
because with Isla, when she kicks off, I'm like, or if anything, she's crying. Like the other day, she was trying to put her trousers on. She couldn't do it properly, so she started crying about it. And I was like,
4-year-old.
Yeah, and I was like, stop, just stop crying. Can't hear when you're crying.
Yeah.
And then when she stopped crying, I was like, what's the matter? Can't do much. I was like, that's fine. Let's do it together then.
Yeah.
I'm so like nonchalant with her, and like sometimes when I've finished doing that, I feel bad. So I'm like, am I just pieing her off by doing that? And I'm not. I'm just trying to get her to be rational with her thinking.
Yeah.
And then once
Just
she's
ask for
done
help
it,
if you're
then we
struggling.
can
Ask for help. We'll do it together. It's fine.
and then we can do the father-daughter thing whilst we establish what the problem is.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So for you, coming from the other angle, obviously with your father not being around and stuff, I suppose that would drive you to, no matter what, because obviously you are you're not with the mother of your child anymore.
Yeah.
When that was happening, what was going through your mind at that stage when you guys were separating? Because obviously you're not in the house with her anymore.
Yeah. So for me, it was a case of, because I'll be honest, I wanted to do it in the summer. I think Janet knows that anyway. But like, I wanted to do it in the summer, and I love running away from my problems. Anyone who knows me knows, like, why have you moved house so many times and run away from my problems? Why'd you leave the country and move away from my problems? Why have you, like, changed that job? Why you got with that person? I'm running away from past shit, and I'm thinking this new bit will be fine, as long as I get through that bit, I'll be fine. This time I didn't, and I needed to know. So we stayed together, and I tried in my head. I don't think I showed it.
Yeah.
I don't think I showed that I was trying. Like, her birthday, after the kick-off and before the breakup, her birthday was in between. Took her to the city, went to a show, went to get some nice food, and we're walking around the city. I don't know these people. I didn't even hold a hand. And going back to think about it, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, because I didn't want to lead her on, but at the same time, I didn't try.
Yeah.
And I should have tried. And there's no two ways about it. I was wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
Not wrong for wanting to leave, because that was me and my feeling. I still don't regret it to this day. But it got to a point where I was thinking, because this is before Isla's first birthday. We broke up after her first birthday. But it got to a point where I was like, in my head, I was like, if we leave now, she ain't gonna remember. And I see friends of friends, etc., knowing that they wanted to break up from when they were pregnant, or from like a year into relationship, or a year into child, like parenthood, and they'll wait until like 7 or 8, and then break up.
And be miserable for 6 years.
Trauma. How miserable they are. The trauma on the youths.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So for me, I think the timing of breakup for me was right, and it allowed us to then build as people. She got with someone pretty quickly after anyway. I was being gaff Matt, can't lie. And then obviously when she was in my care, don't leave the house, this is me. But when not, if I'm not working, go Matt.
Single man.
Doing my thing. And then got back, and like obviously that changed. I didn't introduce for a good 6 months, which I thought was really important. Don't know what Janet did with Isla. I don't know. As I said, I still feel like I did the right thing, because then Isla only knows or only remembers 2 houses.
Yeah.
Mummy's house, Daddy's house.
Yeah.
And then she then knows Brian. That's his new name, Janet and Brian. Sounds good.
Go together.
Yeah. So Janet and Brian, they're together. That's their thing. Brian's got utes, and a big old family. Beck's got no utes, and a diverse family. We'll say there's many corners, but like it's good. So I know Isla loves Brian. I know she loves Beck, and that's more important.
Good. Yeah. Good stuff.
That's a good area to charge.
Yeah.
So that's Ep3. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Search Chronicles of Dad on Google, or just go onto YouTube, Chronicles of Dad, Spotify, and everywhere else as well. We're going to put it everywhere else because, like, there might be that one person on Caster. Yeah, just silly, innit? But yeah, till next time. Peace.